Good afternoon, everybody. This is a new video from Martin Kreinen Energy. I hope that everybody is having an amazing day. This time I'm recording from Amsterdam. It is King's Day today, an amazing party in the city. So it's a it's a nice day, and I hope for all of you guys it's the same. Let's dive into this. In my previous video, I told you that I walked away from a pretty successful career. Not because something went wrong, but because it didn't feel right anymore. I didn't have a plan. I didn't have any new direction. I just had this gut feeling, this quiet sense that I needed to step away. And it was almost as if I was being guided towards something that I couldn't see yet. And because I was fortunate enough to still receive my salary for 3 more years, I suddenly had something that most people never get, and that is time. Time to study, time to think, and time to question everything I had taken for granted. And during this period, I start noticing something quite disturbing, uncomfortable, but really important. Many of the thoughts you think are yours are actually shaped by what you were exposed to, not by your own experience, not by your own research, but by repetition, by culture, by education, by media, and most of all, social rules around what we are allowed to take seriously. Okay? And let me give you 3 simple examples. Um, Not about truth or belief, we will go into that in later videos. Just about the mechanism, how things work. Let's start with the first example. To be honest, or to be straightforward, whatever, is that I have a great interest in, well, actually everything, science, extraterrestrials, paranormal activities, quantum physics, you name it. The thing is, when we refer to aliens or extraterrestrials, we think of little green men, which is actually weird. Because when you look at the stories about aliens or extraterrestrials, ETs, they are never talking about little green men, the little green men from Mars. No, they are talking about they have a gray skin, they have a big head, they have big eyes, but still, the accepted image of aliens is little green men. Where does that come from? This is really interesting to realize. Everybody heard the story about Roswell. In 1947, allegedly, UFOs or UAPs, it's called nowadays, I think, unidentified aerial phenomena. Um, and three or one, doesn't matter, were crashed down, and the papers made of course, immediately a report about that, and they sent it into the world. Listen, a UFO crashed in Roswell. Well, immediately, of course, it was the reports were changed, swamp gas, weather balloon, whatever. Then there was this press conference. I don't know who did. I will give you the link maybe in later videos. It's not important for now. But the thing is, during that press conference, in which they explained that it was swamp gas or whatever, they tried to hide the real story, if you believe in that or not. Again, I'm not going into if it's true or not. that is not for now the most important thing. The most important thing is actually why do we refer to little green men while the reports actually always talk about gray um, ETs, about the abductions, about reports when you look at etc. etc. Well, that is weird, don't you think? And the thing is, during that press conference in which they explained, no, it was swamp gas, it was not a UFO, etc., etc. Um, they made a little bit of fun. Someone during that press conference, someone came onto the stage in a green suit with a big hat, with big eyes, and everybody was laughing. And that is the moment when the concept of the green man was actually introduced. And that is the image that stuck. Not the gray, but the green man. And it's because of that. It's interesting to think about. Another thing that to me is quite fascinating, like I told you, I'm interested in a lot of things. I'm not a scientist at all. Um, However, I love quantum physics. I love science. I love to read about it. I don't understand everything. Um, I like the equations of Einstein, um, Edison, Newton, what have you. The funny thing is, when I was at school, and I'm from 73, I'm 52 years old. So back in my days, of course, we had science, we had history, we had mathematics, we had language, all kinds of subjects which are taught at school. The funny thing is, well, the greatest scientist ever, as I was taught, was Einstein. Einstein was the most intelligent, most smart person in the world. That was what I was being told. I'm not saying he wasn't, but I am saying there are more people that had a little bit more influence in the world. And then I'm talking about Nikola Tesla. The funny thing is, when I started my research or when I started thinking for myself, when I started noticing things, and this started, well, already when I was a little boy, but in 2011, things accelerated. Um, that was the time, only then, that I learned about Nikola Tesla. And I was like, what? Nikola Tesla corrected Edison in terms of electricity. It was Nikola Tesla that already invented the free electricity, the wireless free electricity in 1895, and still I didn't heard of him at all. That is weird. What the F is going on here? Now, and it seems that he died in 1943 alone in a hotel room. And it seems that all his notes, all his inventions, all his patents were seized by the government, CIA, FBI, I don't know. That is not important. But what is important is that the name Nikola Tesla is deliberately erased from the history books, and I'm talking worldwide. Now, of course, Nikola Tesla is more because of the internet. Back in my day, the internet didn't exist yet, so we didn't have that. Well, of course, we had access to information, but through books. Sorry, through books, not through computers. Um, why would an, well, from my perspective, the most brilliant, the most smart, and the most aligned person ever lived until now on planet Earth has been erased from the history books. That is weird. So we know Einstein, we know Newton, and those are names, of course, completely accepted. And nobody, well, I didn't, at least, ever heard about Nikola Tesla. You cannot find it in the history books. Now, probably it has changed, also because of the company. You do know that Elon Musk actually named the fuel-free car, the electric car, Tesla is an homage, is an honor. The name is to honor Nikola Tesla. Um, but it's funny, and I don't know how it is with you guys. I don't know how old you are, the people that are watching this channel. But I'm curious if Nikola Tesla is mentioned in your history lessons. Um, Times are changing, I understand, but except at least in my time, Nikola Tesla wasn't mentioned. The biggest of all. That is weird from my perspective. Um, Last example. And again, it's not about what is true, no? Or what do you believe, or whatever. No, it's about the mechanism, how you think about certain subjects. And this to me is also quite fascinating. Like I said, I am interested in quantum physics, I'm interested in the universe, I'm interested in energies, and I am very interested in life beyond this planet, extraterrestrials, beings, entities, it doesn't matter. Um, Already when I was a very little boy, I read a lot about it and I did a lot of research, but it's not about that for now. The thing is, um, the the really the funny thing is, when you are at a birthday and you are just a little bit of a boring birthday, you're all sitting in a circle on a chair and talking with each other. Can be nice, by the way, don't get me wrong. um, but and everybody's talking, and I like to talk about certain subjects. And when you tell in a group, or you are being asked, do you believe in extraterrestrials? Well, my answer would be absolutely. Why don't you? You know? And then, well, actually, and when I ask the question, why do you not? Because when I say yes, I do, a lot of people, are you insane? Would you believe that? I mean, it's not proven. They look already for years. Um, Nothing is being mentioned, which is absolutely not true, by the way. But let's not go into that. But you are being, you are made ridiculous, actually, until today. Um, which is actually funny because when you look in the history of, let's say, UFO, nowadays it's called UAP, unidentified aerial phenomena. And back in the days, it was called unidentified flying objects. Well, that name has changed, also for a reason, by the way. It goes way deeper than you think. Um, but the funny thing is, um, it's not accepted. Okay. Now more and more people start to accept the idea that, well, most probably we are not alone. But back in my days, I was being made fun of. But when I return the question and I say, "Do you believe in black holes?" Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that is a really um, it's a spot in the universe with a very high gravity, and it sucks everything inside, even light. Nothing can escape that. Well, that is really funny because scientifically, um, black holes could not be seen, cannot be proven at all. But the mathematics show it. When you look at, the sightings, the amount of sightings during the history of man, um, and even on the higher cliffs of the pyramids, for instance, thousands and thousands of years old, it is already mentioned that UFOs or UAPs, whatever, are mentioned there. So it's not new at all, and still it's not accepted. So from a scientific point of view, there is more evidence for UAPs or UFOs, whatever, than there is for black holes, and still black holes are accepted, and UAPs are let's say, not accepted. That's unusual, isn't it? That means that acceptance has nothing to do with evidence. Well, nothing. Not only. It's shaped by culture, it's shaped by repetition, and it's shaped by social norms. And this is actually the moment when I started asking myself, A really simple, but really life-changing question. Why do you think what you think? Think about that. Huh? I will say it again. Why do you think what you think? Because once you see the mechanism behind your thoughts, you cannot unsee it. And this video is just the foundation. In the next one, I will go a little bit deeper. And again, not to convince you at all, not to tell you what to think, but to show you how thinking works. And once you understand that, everything else becomes more clearer. Let's keep it to this a little bit. So I will end this video by, of course, wishing everybody the best and until the next. But think of this. Why do you think what you think? See you to the next. Ciao. Thank you.